Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this webinar entitled Parenting Rewired, Balancing Tech, Tension, and Tenderness. I am Dr. Glenda Rachel Bagasin, your moderator for today. For a better viewing experience, Let me guide you through this Zoom webinar. You may click View Options on top, move your cursor over Zoom ratio, click Fit to Window, check the side-by-side mode so you have a good view of the slides and speakers. Click the chat box for your questions, answers to questions, and comments during the webinar. Should you wish to leave the webinar before it ends, click on the Leave button below. We are happy to announce that we will now be streaming live on our Facebook page of the Medical City Institute of Pediatrics. You may share this to your friends who cannot log into Zoom. The replay of this webinar will also be aired on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Welcome again to our Zoom and Facebook participants to our webinar titled Parenting Rewired: Balancing Tech, Tension, and Tenderness. Our webinar series is called Institute of Pediatrics Learning Academy's Coffee and Conversations. We hope to fill your morning with gems to power up your Saturday morning. So grab a cup of coffee and just relax. Before we start our webinar, let us view this video from the Medical City Institute of Pediatrics. This webinar is brought to you by the Institute of Pediatrics Learning Academy. Watch out for this logo for our future webinars. Now that I have my coffee, I am ready for our conversation. To start our webinar, allow me to introduce our speaker for today, Dr. Maria Teresa Arons Lim. She is the head of the Section of Developmental and Behavioral Pediatrics of the Medical City Institute of Pediatrics. She is a founding member and part of the advisory board of the ADHD Society of the Philippines, and she is a consultant developmental pediatrician of the Medical City and Cardinal Santos Medical Center. Good morning, Doc Marie.
Good morning, Glenda, and good morning to everybody.
Joining Doc Marie is another expert from our institute, Dr. Darlene Pecache. She's a consultant of the Section of Adolescent Medicine, the Medical City Institute of Pediatrics. She is a diplomate of the Philippine Society of Adolescent Medicine Specialists Incorporated and a member of the Society of Adolescent Medicine of the Philippines. Let us warmly welcome Dr. Darlene Pecache. Good morning, Dr. Darlene.
Hi, good morning. Good morning, Doc Glenda. Good morning, Doc Marie. Now, it's my turn naman, Doc Glenda, to introduce you, our moderator for this morning. So, like she mentioned, no, she is Dr. Glenda Rachel Magazine. She's actually the head of the wards unit of the Medical City Institute of Pediatrics. So she's also a consultant of our institute. So thank you, Dr. Glenda, for moderating today. Good morning, everybody.
Morning,
Good morning.
Dar.
Morning, and it's
Morning.
a pleasure to be a part of this group with our two experts. No? And thank you to our audience also for joining us this morning as we all have coffee and chat about an exciting topic. So, as pediatricians, a lot of parents come to us with a lot of challenges, like, my child is not speaking well. They can't seem to relax without the internet. And my teenager slept in the class last night, this morning, because they were on their phones until late. We are raising a new generation of children who lead device-driven lifestyles. While computers and handheld devices are becoming more of necessities rather than luxuries, our children should not be inseparable from them. However, these gadgets have become an essential part of today's digital world. This is why we have this webinar today with our developmental pediatrician and adolescent medicine specialists to shed light, provide practical tips on this battle between the benefits and drawbacks of technology for young people and how to foster a balanced approach for their use.
Yes, and for our battle weary, it's truly a big battle for
Right,
us
Dr.
parents. Yes, we hope to be able to provide guidance and break the cycle of conflict and compromise.
So to begin, let us all watch this short clip. Welcome to all our participants. Oh my, that video, that scenario looks so familiar, no? I'm sure our audience can relate. Maybe you can react in the chat box. Who among us has done this to our children, no? So we see kids, they get bored, they scream, and even fight back, throwing tantrums. And these meltdowns can disrupt a meal, turning into power struggles. So before we address what is happening to this child, let us ask our expert how technology influences the mental and emotional state of our children. So, Dr. Marie, what is happening to the brains of our young children when they are on their gadgets?
Oh, this is so problematic on several counts, and I can relate. So it's really not just you, parents, but also us experts who struggle with this particular problem. It's problematic because, first of all, the exposure to screen time. Studies have shown that early exposure to screen time leads to various functional problems. Excessive screen time reduces the amount and quality of interactions between children and their caregivers, and it also impacts on language development. Numerous studies have highlighted the significance of human interaction, as is shown in the slide, and this is impacts on human development and on language development. Numerous studies have shown that interaction and the frequency and quality of exchanges between adults and children impacts on the development of language. There's a growing concern that screen time diminishes the quantity. Siyempre, nanonood din yung adults, no? And the quality of interactions between the children and their parents, resulting in fewer chances for the child to practice and develop their language abilities. One early study shows that increased TV exposure, so hindi rin innocent ang TV, no? Between 6 to 18 months of age are associated with emotional reactivity, aggression, and externalizing behaviors like we see in this child. Few studies also indicate that the higher the screen time that the child is exposed to at an early age, by age 4, it is associated with lower levels of emotional understanding and worse at age 6 years. More so now with our gadgets, which are available anytime and anywhere with little appropriateness or censorship. Furthermore, other studies have shown that when parents regularly use media to regulate the emotions of their children, toddlers are more exposure displayed more problematic and extreme emotions, and we see this a lot when we go to the restaurants, public places, no? So this results in a vicious cycle of even more media use, lower emotional regulation, and poor social emotional development. The executive functions, of which the most primal is emotional regulation, is impacted even as a child gets older into adolescence. Babies learn most from human interaction, and Patricia Cull, a leading brain specialist who runs 4,000 babies a year, found that babies under a year old do not learn from a machine. Rote lang yan, memorization lang yan. Using brain scans, she stressed, even if you show them captivating videos, the difference in learning is extraordinary. You get genius learning from a live human being, and you get zero learning from a machine. That is why the WHO, the American Academy of Pediatrics, and the Philippine Pediatric Society all recommend no screen time for babies under 2 years. And I cannot stress this enough. No, even pediatricians sometimes falter in stressing this to their parents. No, and no more than 1 hour of screen time a day for those aged 2 to 4. Infants and children learn from actual or live experiences because they are in the sensory motor stage. And as explained by Piaget, they need to feel, touch, smell, bite, throw real objects in order to learn about their world. They need human touch to feel loved and protected and to learn to read emotions, which is what we have problems with right now, and to show empathy and reciprocate interaction or reciprocate attention. What happens when the screen projects such various pleasurable and exciting and fast-paced scenes? The brain chemicals start to release neurotransmitters called dopamines, and this gives the feeling of pleasure and reward. In older children, when there is gaming, this occurs more rapidly, and along with this is the cortisol the stress hormone cortisol. So when the brain is frequently subjected to these high levels, the brain begins to seek these levels of stimulation repeatedly. And after all, who doesn't want to feel pleasure? The resulting desire to constantly seek pleasure leads to the cycle of addictive behaviors. Needing the constant stimulation also leads to difficulty in emotional regulation as well as induction to sleep. And you know how essential sleep is to the young children. Added to this is the blue light that's emitted by screens, which inhibit the production of melatonin, which is essential for sleep induction. So the child becomes sleep deprived and becomes more irritable, and the cycle continues. So many now call screen time as the digital pacifier, and some authors have called it the digital cocaine.
Doctora, that's so scary actually when you hear that, no? Digital cocaine. It's really very addictive, even to our very young children. So, just to stress what Dr. Marie said, no screen time until 2 years old, no? Parents, doctors, let's remember that 2 years old, no? So many of us have been in this exact same situation, offering our devices to our young children just to have a meal and have a quiet time, especially when we're outside. But looking at it from your perspective, Dr. Marie, what challenges do you see here and what can we do?
Before I talk about what we can do about it, let's talk about this scenario again, which is really problematic from a behavioral perspective. So, drawing from the principles of behavior modification, let's look at it through the lens of the ABC principle. A being the antecedent or the reason for the behavior, B is the behavior itself, and C is the consequence. Positive reinforcement refers to the consequence or anything that occurs after a given behavior that increases the likelihood that the behavior will repeat itself. So in this scenario, the child acting up or tantruming is the behavior, which results in the adult giving the child what he wants, which is the consequence. And the result is a reinforcement. So the next instance the child needs a cell phone, letter A, the parents will hold this, and then what will the child do? B, cry. And the tantrums will be reinforced by receiving what he wants. So talagang it's ano, no, parang a conundrum. How are we gonna solve this problem? But wait, there's even more to that. The adult is also reinforced by giving the cell phone because his antecedent for this particular scenario is wanting peace and quiet. So he himself can also go online. Diba? Guilty. Behavior is giving the cell phone, and the consequence is peace and quiet, right? So, in this scenario, the parent and the child are reinforcing each other's behaviors. But in the long term, is this outcome good? Of course not.
Ako, I'm sure there's a lot of parents who can relate to this, Doctora. So as our expert, how can parents approach this situation para we don't always na lang give the digital device or the tablets to our small children?
No, it's easier said than done. And you have to start at the very start, okay? The best strategy is modeling. Monkey
Yes.
see, monkey do. So an old man once told us that if you don't want to fall off a cliff, you stay away as far from the edge of the ledge as possible. So if there's no cell phone to see it in the first place, there is no temptation. If the child or the adult talks more to each other, they're modeling, talking, having a conversation over dinner after they see each other, the child will most likely also prefer to engage with the adult. Siyempre, attention seeking din siya. Gusto rin niya makipag-usap. I must also stress quality time is quantity time. You can't know a person without spending time with them, more so with a child who doesn't know himself well. A principle and strategy also is co-regulation. You regulate yourself as you aim to make the child regulate themselves. Of course, when they're much younger, you have to regulate by showing them or by modeling and by trying to show them how okay it is to be calm. If you are modeling calm and interest in things non-electronic, you send the message that gadgets aren't the essential part of your life and shouldn't be.
Ako, Doktora, even I am guilty of this sometimes, no? And even I'm sure when you go to family gatherings, don't you notice sometimes a whole table, everybody slouched down on their phones. They're not talking to each other anymore, no?
How
So,
true. Oo.
diba, Doc? So this is a very clear message to our parents that our own habits on the phone, the gadgets, this sets the tone for how our children will use technology. So, Dr. Marie, can you recommend other strategies that parents can use at the moment to manage these mealtime struggles to avoid meltdowns?
Well, first is you put your phone down. And second is the technique which speech therapists have taught us, which is called infotalk. This is what young children do when they describe everything that they do, di ba? Nagkukwento sila habang ginagawa nila. So what you can do is to describe everything that he or she is doing. For example, when you're in a restaurant. For example, you can say, oh, you're wearing the pink bib today. That's so nice. Okay, and you're getting ready to bite a French fry. Or, mommy is going to use the spoon to scoop white ice cream. It's white. Or being a marites about the surroundings. Okay, look at this. There are three people wearing blue and two are wearing red. Let's count how many tables are empty. For very young children, you play the nursery games that you often see them doing, like singing and action songs. So talaga medyo OA ka rin, ano? Or you can bring noise makers like a xylophone, a squeaky toy, or a ball that lights up or bounces that catches their attention. Cause and effect toys are fun for young children. Things that make them make a popping sound or make a sound are great for turn taking with the added thrill of your facial expression or voice when they achieve a task. For older kids, reading books are also good distractors. But be the Miss Rachel. Huwag na kayong umasa kay Miss Rachel. You act out the story. Don't rely on your phone to do it. An older toddler will enjoy drawing or coloring as well, even if wala talagang ano. And let's just let them do what they can. Don't keep critiquing them for what they're doing. Just enjoy it with them. Be in the moment with them. But try to study, for example, how animals work and how animals talk and make those sounds with them, no? So people and animals can come alive even as you're reading a book. Other things like finger puppets or the drawing on the hand, which is what I have here on the screen, and making voices are fun, and even making magic tricks. Of course, there will be sacrifices to make. You have to prepare, you have to put your mindset in this particular mode and be able to say, oh, I'm going to have fun with my child.
So, Doktora, no ba, everywhere we go, it's really like a teaching experience for our children, di ba? So, like you mentioned, you're in a restaurant, the colors around you, you can like describe it to your child, di ba? Para they won't they get bored kasi, di ba? And they stick to their gadgets. And a watcher from our Facebook Live even mentioned that she can relate. And I think that's my sister who lives in Washington, D.C., Attorney Gladys Bagasin. She has two small children, and she tries her best, but she can relate to this, no, that sometimes she just has to give a device to one of her children so she can address the other one,
So
no?
it's, oh, instead of devices, bring props. Bring all the
Yeah.
props. Kaya talagang mga parents of young children, di ba? Ang lalaki ng mga bag, hindi lang yung mga dede at mga diaper, pati yung mga toys dapat dala-dala rin nila.
Yes, Doctora. And then yun na nga, I know we are all familiar with Miss Rachel. A lot of parents say na, oh, Doc, ang dami nilang natututunan from Miss Rachel. Okay naman siya. But it's like you're letting Miss Rachel do everything like you mentioned, Doctora Marie, di
Oo,
ba?
tsaka 'di ba sabi nga ng nung researcher si Patricia Call, you don't learn from machines. It's just
Yeah.
the same as you learn from from yung mga aso at tsaka mga you learn from live experiences, no? If you really want the child to learn and to connect with the world, you have to give them live experiences.
Yes, Doctor, di ba? They need like eye-to-eye contact, human touch to hear your voice. So that's more important, really, especially for our young children. And like you said, no, it really starts at an early age, no? So
Yes.
again, I cannot stress it enough. No devices below 2 years old. Okay, so this is such an enlightening discussion, Doctora. No, I also remember when my child was small, we kind of succeeded in that, no, no screen time. But then as they get older, for our parents listening with older children, no, let's watch our second clip, which is another very familiar scenario. Okay, so even though this video is short, no, you can see that this young child, no, he's supposed to be doing homework, but then he got distracted. He started to multitask. He started messaging his friends, surfed online, listened to music, and play games at the same time. So is this something that affects our teens in terms of finishing tasks and maintaining relationships with friends?
Hi,
Dr.
Doc
Bar,
Glenda.
call you this
Hi.
time. Hi.
Yeah, good morning. So we see adolescents do this all the time. Ang ganda nga naman, di ba sabihin, we're having fun while working. Okay naman, di ba? It's good that we work and have fun. But in terms of multitasking, as we saw in the clip, with all the distractions, lahat ng tabs in the computer are open. Actually, research and experts say multitasking makes it harder for our kids to focus. Why? As you notice, no, you probably know this. As adults, because we end up spending more time. I'm spending more time on focusing, no, on doing what we're supposed to do, kasi nga we're distracted.
Yeah.
So when we don't focus, we try to figure out ano nga ba, how do I do it? Kasi nga we're all distracted. Or we are on the laptop and then we start checking our phone or doing games and then we stop and then go back to the homework. So it's really hard to focus. So multitasking, as I mentioned here, is really a myth. No, that even if the kids are teens talaga sabi, yeah, I can do it. Kaya ko yan. Ganun sila, di ba? I can do all those things all together. But actually, we have to let them know it really does not work in terms of focusing on what they're supposed to do.
Yes.
Di ba, Doc Marie?
Oo nga eh. You know, it's really quantity over quality, and quality will definitely suffer. It's like texting while driving, 'di ba? Kaya nga bawal. It has dangerous consequences. When you're doing texting while doing homework or looking at other screens, these mobile devices talaga are really distractions. And learning new material is reduced when their and comprehension is reduced, and this will impair academic performance. There's a study that shows that we divert conscious attention away from a focal task, then the quality of your work suffers. And tech gadgets are everywhere. Talaga ngayon, 'di ba, multiple screens, talagang is really problematic, and it creates more diversions. So it's really not good to do multitasking. Even when you do multitasking, when you're trying to study and you're trying to listen, sometimes it might not be a very good thing kasi you'll tend to divert to the other task. And usually, the more pleasurable task is the one that you will tend to do.
I
O, di ba?
agree. Yes, Doc, I agree. Although for some it might work. Like I listen to classical music while I do
Oo.
my
Yeah,
oh,
oo.
yeah.
Pero at least
For
yun,
me,
hindi talagang super kasi it
no,
gives
Doc,
you
it
rhythm.
relaxes me.
Oo, oo,
Yes, and it
yun.
relaxes
Oo,
me.
oo. Pero
One,
dalawa
one,
lang, oo.
yes. Opo, Doc, dalawa lang. And one time, I was talking to a friend, I think, but just talking, and then she was hearing my classical music in the background. Sabi niya, Dar, are you at the hotel? It's like, no, I'm just in my room relaxing. But yeah, it is, that's what adults actually find it like something pleasurable and relaxing. But definitely, multitasking is a myth because Dr. Marie said, when we shift from one task to another, it's hard to tune out. I love that term, tune out. We don't tune out our parents. I always tell them, we tune out distraction. No?
Actions.
It's hard, it's difficult with everything that you're doing online.
And the
Hard to
developing
tune
brain
out.
pati, pag developing brain pa, your filtering mechanism is not well developed yet. So you don't tune out as
Exactly.
well. It's hard to
Exactly,
tune
Doc.
out. Oo, oo.
Doctora, I can
Exactly.
relate here talaga because this is around my son's age, no? You see him, no, we're reviewing, mommy. But after that, you see them, they're not reviewing anymore. They're watching, they're sharing YouTube videos to each other and all that. So, yun na nga, Dr. Dar, ako yung na-tune out, not the other
Oo,
tabs
'di ba?
open. Diba?
We
Oo.
want that. I always, that's my favorite talaga. We want them to tune out the distractions but because of their developing brain, I love the talking about the teen brain, but it's totally a different discussion altogether. So it can cause them mental blocks, no? Which causes them to slow down. And this causes a mental brownout. Because, di ba brownout, wala nang ilaw? Because all the lights in their brain go dim. Because nga, there's just enough power to carry them around, no, to run the entire their brain. So there's a mental brownout. So they don't really get work done, and like I said, they take more effort to focus, and it really causes this mental brownout. It strains their brain.
Yeah, so it's not just Meralco pala with a brownout, ha? This is
Yes, Doc.
even more important, no? Mental brownout for our children, no? So this can be an issue, especially if a child is struggling with attention and memory problems, right, Dr. Marie? Can you
Oh,
comment on that?
oh yeah, and you know what? It's not just the ADHD child or the individual with ADHD, it's the neurotypical child. There's even a phenomenon called variable attention, which is basically what is happening to our brains because of all of this multitasking and all of this internet and social media and all these connections that we have. It explains why multitaskers need to refocus all the time and need to re-distract themselves from the original assignment. An author, Mr. Nicholas Carr, is a journalist and a literature major who said that the constant use of the internet, and this was like in the 2010 lang niya sinulat ito, no? He said that there's a neuroscientific decline in our ability to concentrate, to understand deeply, and to remember information. Instead of thinking and analyzing what is the hyperlinked environment, ang dami-daming information all at the same time, superficial na lang, no? And you're distracted. And what happens is this promotes fake news kasi you don't analyze what you do. Di ba ang warning nga is before you pass something on, make sure you have to check whether or not this is true or not. Eh pagka sobrang dami na yan, you start to get distracted and you start we don't analyze anymore. You just
Yeah.
keep going and you don't stop and think of what you're receiving. You just take it as gospel truth. Eh, kaya nga ang dami-daming fake news ngayon eh.
So, Doktora, ideally, no, the
Yes.
parents, hindi naman nila, even if they wanted to, they cannot be right next to their children all the time to tell them, oh, to stop, concentrate, enough na yan, do the homework first. So they cannot be next to their children
Oh.
24/7. So how do we break this multitasking habits? What can we recommend to our parents?
Yeah, first, before we all know that they will tune you out. There will be
Totoo.
fights. They will tune you out, di ba,
Oo,
Doc Glenda?
totoo. Totoo yan.
You will talk to them, but they will eventually tune you out. And I'd like to go back to what Doc Marie said about the teen brain. That their brains are developing. Their brains don't get fully developed until they're 25. But it doesn't mean that they're I like the term that they're damaged. It just means they really need us to help them, to guide them. And also, it's not that they don't that they want to do this multitasking, or they want to do all these things with not being distracted, and they'd rather, they prefer the games or the distractions than doing their homework. It's because they don't know the consequences. Di ba, Doc Marie?
Oo,
It's
di
not that
pa.
they want to do it, it's just that they don't know the consequences. So we really have to explain it to them, talk to them. Ano kaya yung reason why they're multitasking? It's a good time to talk, a good topic, maybe something you know present it as a casual conversation. Why are they multitasking? Ba't ka nag-games, no? Baka naman kasi they just don't want to feel out of place because everybody's doing it. Yeah, you talk to them and ask. Communication is key, as Dr. Marie said. And tell them also, mahirap talaga. Like I said, there will be fights, there will be persistence talaga, but I really want to do it, no? But we can start to having some boundaries and rules, as to having just as simple as no, like Dr. said, no gadgets during family meals, or check their laptop, di ba? Tayo, adults, we have so many, like I said, unnecessary tabs. So maybe it can make them feel overwhelmed. So check their computer. So if they're worried that they might forget something, so ask them to bookmark. And this is what I do as well. Para you don't get overwhelmed with all the screens or the tabs open in their laptops. Doc Marie, what else can you suggest?
Oh, well, you know what? Before that, even, no, you have to start with co-regulation. I mentioned this earlier. When you're younger, hindi ka maka-filter masyado, hindi ka maka-control, you need to co-regulate. So you have to do a lot of modeling. When you get older, that's when they start internalizing the controls or the discipline, di ba? By the age of 6 to 7 years old, dapat meron na silang konting self-control. And that's when you can start doing contract setting, no? You give them reasonable goals or attainable goals, and as detailed as possible. Make them earn the responsibility and achievement to control. As a bonus, reward them for persisting, no? Make them, and then, there will be good days and bad days. So you celebrate the good days. And if they're bad days, growth mindset, sabi mo, oh, that's a chance for you to learn. Make them feel good about doing good. Substitute the
Yeah.
source of the dopamine surge. When you notice that they're paying more attention to a conversation when there are no interruptions, di ba parents ganun din, no? We don't want interruptions when we're talking. So children will also model. So nag-attention seeking din sila. So if they turn away from your phones, which is your distraction, and pay attention to your children, then actually you're stopping you're closing your tab. Your tab there is your phone, and you're not multitasking. This actually shows them that it's not important that stick to your rules also, no? You start contract setting with them, and you also have to do your own contract setting and follow your own rules, no? Stick to your rules, walk your talk, set a good example, and be the role model.
Nako, Doktora, that's hard. Especially there are a lot of busy parents who say na they still have a lot of work to do. So sometimes they cannot watch over their children, no? But yeah, we should really sit down with them and then write the goals that you mentioned, Doktora. And let's not try to expect like so unreasonable goals naman. Pwedeng, kunyari, this week, this is what we'll do, and you do like small steps, no? Kaysa naman, you're stuck doing nothing.
What just came to mind, no, is
Yeah.
also you'd start having dates with your kids.
Right.
You know, you spend time, you be intentional about spending time with them. And each child, kung marami kayong anak, tig isang araw or isang oras lang, or even 30 minutes, if that's all you can afford of time spent with them. You know, that's really the connection making you do at a younger age will tell and will be very helpful, especially when they go into their teens. No? When yung time na nagre-rebelde na sila or ayaw nila mag-rules.
Yes, Doc. And it's hard, Doc Marie. I know when parents come with their teenagers without any rules at all, and then they expect them during their teenage years to kaagad may rule, bawal na mag-phone, ganito. So I always tell them, it's good really to start early. Tama ka, Doc. Not when they're teenagers na nagre-rebelde na. Tama naman yun, Doc. We start early with the rules that's based on how you best know your family, your kid, based on your values. I liked when you said to have dates, 'di ba? Later we'll talk about more activities for them. Have dates with your kids. Tama, Doc, we make memories in real life, 'di ba?
Mm.
'Di ba? We not really online, but make memories with them. With activities that you do.
Oo, yun nga yun yung ano eh,
IRL.
yung ano eh, ano mo eh, isa-substitute mo yung source ng kanilang dopamine surge, 'di ba? Titingnan mo yung
Yes.
source ng kanilang pleasure na ano. Pero kailangan bata pa lang na ano, na kasi kung ngayon lang kayo
Oo.
magi-inject niyan, talagang
They will not go with
they
you.
will not go with you anymore, talaga
Mom is
honestly.
boring. Yeah.
Oh, it's boring.
It's
Oo.
boring.
You really have to get involved with your child, 'di ba? Kaya ngayon pati yung mga
Opo.
K-pop at lahat pinag-aaralan ko para lang maka-relate.
See, yes, do. No,
Yeah.
they master what they are into.
Yes, what they're into, what kind of music, what kind of
Yeah.
videos, what kind of games, ganon.
Games.
Oo, 'di ba?
Exactly.
Mm.
Thank you, doctors. No, your perspectives are really very valuable to the parents listening today. So this is a very clear reminder to our parents. No, so let's be consistent and let's be present. So your consistency and presence matter just as much as the rules we set. Okay. So we've talked about the challenges with toddlers and school-aged children, but like we said, but by their teenage years, the stakes are even higher, no? So
Mhm.
let's now watch our last clip. So ayan na, doctors, our teenagers, no? They love to play video games, no? Although it is a fun and normal part of an adolescent's life, but like in this video, you can see they have a hard time controlling the time they spend on their games online. So we would like to know, doctors, the reason why these teenagers are such into gaming, no? Dar, would you like to talk about this?
Yeah, let's talk about games and social media as well. We all know that really this video games, they keep our they're so attractive, no? They're fast paced, like Dr. Marie said. They keep our children engaged, 'di ba? Because they're very attractive, no? And when they feel that they are on a mataas na level, they score, di ba? Lalo yun, it triggers them to play more because of what Doctora said, because of the dopamine rush, which is a pleasure chemical. So kaya sila gusto talaga to constantly get a higher score, 'di ba? Sarap ng feeling nila kapag they beat this level, right? And then di na nila alam, it's already like in the video 2 a.m. So because of that dopamine as well, so there's actually a scientific explanation. One is our teens are pushed to play repeatedly. Actually, hindi lang naman sa gaming, no? It's also with um, other risk factors like alcohol, shopping. But yeah, that's a different social media. That's a different topic. But yeah, so we see there really is a connection between dopamine and, like in our scenario, video games.
Well, and not just video games,
Right.
Dr. Dar, no? Like you said,
Yes.
also Instagram, TikTok. Oh my
Mm-mm.
gosh,
Oo,
TikTok.
oo,
No? It's
oo.
the same thing, no? That happens to our brains. Okay.
O sa adults din, alam mo, yung Netflix addiction, yung mga K-drama addiction, di ba?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
so hard to get out of, really, when you start getting into that, it's really going to be very hard. Tapos, tuloy-tuloy yung episodes, di ba? Nagbe-binge
Do,
watch ka na. Kaya
3
pati,
a.m. na.
oo, 3 a.m. na, di ba? Hindi lang mga bata ang guilty dyan, sa totoo lang. Tayo ring mga adults talaga. But there's another factor to consider. Parents and older kids, we should watch this. Total, pinag-usapan na Netflix. Watch the
Mm-mm.
documentary, The Social Dilemma. Okay? The original creators, ang mga tao dito na nagsalita are the original creators of Google, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and even TikTok. No? They talk about what they call surveillance marketing. They've designed these media, these mga social media and all of these things, kahit Google pa yan, kahit ano, to make you glued to your screens. Talagang that's intentional. That's
Mm-mm.
part of the marketing strategy. So you get glued to these social platforms and people are the product. Your attention is now the product. And yun ang sinesell. Kaya tinan nyo, pop up yung mga advertisers. That's
Right.
actually their goal, is to expose you to all this advertising. Kala natin, ad-free, di ba, noon ng television, hindi na nagkakaroon ng ads. Hindi, ito nga, mas mabilis nga. Seconds lang. And what is dangerous is it's no longer the product they're selling. They're actually peddling your attention. And it keeps an individual online and hopefully spend. Kasi pag makita mo nga ako talaga, pagka yung Facebook, nagche-check lang ako na
Yes.
magpa-pop na si Rustas, lalabas na si Temu, lalabas na kung
Same.
ano-ano. It's promoting
Temo,
addiction, di
Doktora.
ba?
Yes, Doc.
That's really actually marketing, and that's really scary because, we don't realize it's subliminal, suggestion yan. And then you're addicted and you're hooked to your attention. Uy, ang ganda pala nitong product. Uy, ganun, ganun. You did really catch your attention. So and that's something that was really eye-opening for me. So I think we should really watch this video, no? Medyo mahaba, pero it's really worth watching, no? Kasi
Mm-mm.
marirealize mo, you're being captivated by the wrong things, you know?
Yes, Doc. Alam mo, Doc, I am known to send food to friends. Alam mo, Doc, and these are like discoveries, food discoveries from Instagram. And
Yeah.
I get attracted to like restaurants or whatever food pag may endorser na artista,
Right.
ganyan.
Oo,
So,
correct, correct.
so I get,
Oo.
so what, kung ako adult, di ba, I get sort of budod. Ay, sabi ko, siguro masarap to because this particular person endorses it. What more our teens, di ba, when they see,
Oo, ang
the
dali-dali.
marketing, oo,
Tsaka
ang
'di ba,
dali.
mga teens at tsaka mga bata, FOMO 'yan eh, fear of missing out.
Yes!
Lalo na ngayon with
Oo,
social media. So talagang gusto nila in sila. So
with
kailangan in sila,
everything.
like sila, nakikita sila
Yes.
na they're there, gano'n na, oh, ayun ang latest, ganyan. 'Di ba? Lahat ng tao marites na ngayon or tolits eh, 'di
And
ba?
and unfortunately nga po, the marketing people take advantage,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Of this sa mga even youngers or Gen Alpha, 'di ba? Yung marketing. Kaya nga 'di ba we have terms like Gen Alpha, Gen Z. Actually, it's a marketing term,
Oo,
right,
'di
Doc?
ba? Oo,
The
at
one
saka 'di
who
ba ngayon ang
who's
uso-uso yung unboxing na 'yan. Everybody wants to
yes,
be a vlogger, everybody wants to be an unboxer kasi siyempre kikita ka diyan, oh, 'di ba? Oh.
commercialization, exactly.
And then, Doktora, when they have like a lot of views or likes, they even get more addicted to
Yes.
getting these things, no?
Oo,
So it's
oo.
It's a
social
dopamine.
media in
Opo.
general talaga, no?
Yeah, it's also the dopamine rush when they get all the likes. 'Di ba there are studies na they won't like a particular post if hindi rin nila nakita na marami nang nag-like.
Oo,
Mm-mm.
There
naku,
are
oo.
researches. Yeah,
Right, right. But not all social media is really unhealthy naman, ano.
that's
It
true,
eh, oo, it
Doc.
fulfills a social need for teens. For example, yung mga multiplayer online games, no, it provides a sense of community and belonging. But can it become an addiction if it damages the child's health and the relationships that they have? Or else pag yun na lang unable to control and all else is abandoned for the sake of playing.
Mm-mm.
Doktora, how can we advise our parents? They want to help their kids, stop playing. Now, when do we draw the line, no? And how do we help these parents help their children who might be at risk for addiction?
Thanks, but yeah, I think the first thing is to discover why are they on these games, right? Is it a negative coping mechanism? Do our kids play because they're going through something, so we can address the issue and reach out and seek help for them. Kasi nga they're very vulnerable, no? They're very vulnerable to addiction. They're also vulnerable to some psychological factors, no? And even mental health issues. So
Oh,
ito ba
yeah.
yung reason? Anxiety or depression, no? Or is it the other way around? Yeah, so we all know that there is a correlation between how much they play and the prevalence of anxiety and depression. Next is we've been talking about this. We've been talking about family and the bonding, the connection and communication. We want to strengthen that as early as possible. Be present, no, sabi nga ni Dr. Glenda, because having a strong and a stable family bond, they'd be more than happy to spend time with you. And also be open to talk to you if they have problems. Next, Doctora, good source of dopamine, right? Doctora
Yeah,
Marie.
oo, talaga.
These are good sources, right? A healthy lifestyle, living a healthy lifestyle. But of course, we have to, like Doctor said, be good role models. Also, as adults,
Mhm.
we also practice the healthy lifestyle, be
Right.
physically active with them, have a healthy diet. I love the good source of dopamine, Doc. Diba? Hindi lang the social
Mm-mm.
media.
Right. Actually, kung tutuusin, it's really very challenging. And, we need to really spend time, kahit na konti-konti lang, pero nag-accumulate naman yan eh. And the connection that we establish at a young age, and part of the connection is understanding ano yung gusto ng bata, enjoying it with them. Sometimes we may not have the same taste, pero dapat the fruit should not fall far from the tree. Dapat medyo magkapare-pareho kayo ng hilig, 'di ba? Sa kahit papaano, or at least engage them like in social activities, art, music, dancing, 'di ba? Kahit ba TikTok lang ang ginagawa nyo together, no? And then of course, yung mga medyo healthy outdoor sports or even mga parlor games, games at home with the family. Tapos in some, yung mga social civic and church related events, start early, 'di ba? You connect with them, you do things with them. Kahit nga yung mga building houses, that's really a big thing for some kids, no?
Mm-mm.
Or like even just drawing together. Magdo-drawing ka, turn taking kayo. You need to establish these attachments even before they hit adolescence. And I agree, Dar. Some teens who are excessively online gaming, they use it as a coping strategy for problems they have. So pwedeng ganun eh. When they start withdrawing, although teens will start to withdraw, no? They start to move away from their parents. Pag sobra lang yung withdrawal, medyo delikado na yan. It's their
A red
form of
flag.
escape. O it's a red
Yeah.
flag, no? Lalo na pag stressful. Pag nagbago ng konti ugali, kasi nagbabago sila ng konti, pero wag naman radical na radical. It might be a negative coping pattern that they are still in the still maturing teen brain. So that puts them at risk for anxiety and depression, as Dar mentioned, no?
Mm. And Doctora, when they do community and school activities, diba, the 7 C's of resilience, it gives them
Mm,
a sense of contribution. Right,
yes.
Doc? It gives them,
Oo.
tama sabi mo, it will make yun, a good source of dopamine. It will make them feel good having to contribute, not just in community, it's as simple as giving them chores or giving them, like, sabi ko, anong na responsibility mo sa bahay? Di ba? Simple as household chores, making them
Mhm.
participate and contribute.
And making them feel good about it, no?
Yes,
Kailangan, oo,
yes.
purihin mo naman na may effort. Hindi yung
Yes.
Exactly.
hindi
Hindi
yung
yung puro
produkto,
negative.
yung effort man
Oo,
lang
yung
na
effort,
ginawa.
yeah.
Oo, oo, 'di
Oo
ba?
nga. Oh.
So
Our
ours, parang,
teens, they love, Doc. Ay, sorry, Doc
go
Lenda.
ahead, go ahead, Doctor.
I always ask the teens, ano yung chore na binibigay sa'yo? Most of them sila daw, nire-refill nila the
Yung
water.
water.
Yeah, favorite nila yon. Oh, sabi ko, oh, and she's like, oh, basta hindi daw natatapon, hindi sila napapagalitan. But tama ka, Doc. Ipurihin naman yung effort. Tama.
And there
At
are
huwag magalit.
age appropriate chores naman, no? We can,
Oo,
for
oo.
our parents, we
Yes,
can ask
yes.
your
Oo.
pediatricians for this
Opo.
age, no? What can I have my
Yeah.
son
Ang
or
favorite, ang favorite ko diyan yung 2-year-old pack away eh.
yes,
Clean
Oo.
clean up, 2 years old, 'di ba? Clean up na kaagad. Tapos fix your things, put them in the ano. Kaya lang pag magulo yung parent, kailangan matuto rin yung parent mag-pack away.
right, no? Modeling pa rin until that time sila, no? Everything stems from the parents talaga.
Oo.
Yes, Doc.
So,
Mm.
limiting video games seem like an obvious approach. So, obviously, we try to limit them, no? But sometimes when we do it abruptly, no, this tends to backfire. What can you say about this, Dr. Marie?
Yeah, like I said earlier, no, you restrict a teen only when they're teens and they were not used to restrictions. Magre-rebelde talaga kasi medyo na may tendency na sila to rebel, di ba, Dar? Yung talaga ang
Yes.
tendency nila is to really listen more to their peers than their parents. So you have to really start early. Get interested with them, join them, speak their language, have technology time together. Kahit yung technology, sabay kayo, mag-enjoy kayo together ng movie, mag-enjoy kayo ng Netflix, mag-enjoy kayo ng TikTok, no? But you have to have boundaries as a family, no? Like I mentioned a while ago, you have to be a parent also. Hindi ka lang basta barkada, no? Like I mentioned, parents need to be good role models and they need to show positive precedents so that your teen will follow. Have tech-free zones, like I mentioned, like yung meal time or else yung just before bedtime, meron kang cut off na time, di ba? Mga ganon. So
Mm-mm.
it's really very important that you start and you connect and yun na nga balance technology with tenderness as our title suggests, no?
So, we really start them as soon as they're born, actually, no? We really don't expose them to media so that when they grow up to be teenagers, it's not as hard na, no? Because we've set the boundaries back when they were young. So, like for teenagers, Dr. Marie said, no, try to be interested in what they have to say, start conversations, and then do activities. You can like even just walk around the village, no, sports. Because if they have nothing to do, they get bored. They look for that dopamine rush, and then they get it from their games and their devices, no? Yeah. Hi, thank you so much, doctors. Even I learned a lot as a mother of a 13-year-old boy, no? Um, so we have some questions, I think, and comments on the chat box. I think we have one of our colleagues on Facebook, Dr. Celeste Gomez. Super helpful tips, docs, especially for my first grader. Tips for now and for the future. And another relative of mine is on Facebook, my mom, says this is a very timely topic. You know, they watch because sometimes they get my son for like a weekend or a week. So they need even the lolos and lolas can benefit from this, 'di ba? The titas, the titos, everybody, no? And let me just look at the chat box if there's any. So, so for our parents, please feel free to type in the chat box. You can have comments or questions that we might not have answered, and our experts are here ready to address these inquiries. No. Hi, Doktora. Saturday pa naman ngayon. We have clinic after this webinar, and I'm glad I am in your company because now I can be more empowered to advise the parents of my patients today. No. Even on a personal level, we can all apply it to our pamangkins.
Exactly, Doc.
Mm-hmm. Talaga.
Pero pinakamahirap, Doc, if you wait na talaga until they're teenagers, no? Because they have that habit na from when they were young.
Tsaka effort talaga yan eh. Effort talaga. Like, di ba, there was a myth of quality time. Hindi talaga magkaka-quality time kung wala kang quantity time. You really
Quantity
have to
time.
spend, oo. You really have to spend time. So talagang know your child, spend time with them, be not judgmental, 'di ba? Meron pa nga show na ngayon, huwag maging judgmental. Kailangan, pero at the same time, it's really hard, when you're talagang you have to restrain yourself also from reacting and parang um reacting negatively, no? So, one of the questions that was phoned in question, are educational videos okay for our toddlers? Okay, nako talaga naman, sore issue talaga ito. Education videos, kasi yun ang mga excuse ng parents eh. The thing is, you
Education.
see, oo, wala tayong magagawa, it's there. Marketing is there. And the thing is, the educational videos are only good if you co-view and you actually do the live thing. I mentioned earlier yung studies ni University of Washington researcher si Dr. Patricia Call. You don't learn from a machine. Kasi think about it this way. When you have a circle na flat screen, it remains flat. Pero if you have a ball, Okay, you can bounce the ball, you can hold the ball, you can squeeze, you can so you actually have a rich experience from that particular circle. And a ball is different from, for example, a cover. See?
Mhm.
But they're all circular in ano. So you don't learn that from a machine. You learn that from an actual live ano. So yung mga educational videos na yan, ano naman ang silbi ng A, B, C, D, E, F, G kung hindi naman masabi ng anak mo na I'm scared. I'm scared of that man. I'm scared of the sound. Kaya lang A, B, C, D, E, F, G ang sinasabi niyo or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gamitin nyo. Apply it, for example. Yung nga yung sinabi kong info talk, you use it in the um, restaurant. Oh, let's count how many people are eating chicken. Ganyan. Oh, 'di ba? Or mga ganyan. So parang it's really actual practical life rather than just whatever it is that you see, no?
So, I have a question here. Are is there really a right time or an age where we can give our children a mobile phone? And in relation to that, what is a good age for our children to have a social media account? Diba? Like everybody has TikTok, Instagram.
Mm-mm.
So, is there a right age for that, doctors?
Do you want to answer that, Dar?
Sige,
Ikaw.
Doc. I've always been asked, no, like a smartphone. Kasi naman, lahat dapat smartphone, di ba? You just can't give them the old-fashioned, yung madaming mga buttons. I used to have that, the Nokia. But yeah,
Oo.
I think, di ba? We can't just give them that kasi they really want the smartphone. So I think what's important is if they ask, sit down with them, di ba? And parang approach it as well with them with curiosity, parang sabay kayo, no? Learn, I guess, learn to use a smartphone together. Wag takutin, no? Para hindi rin sila matakot, no? So, approach it with curiosity, both of you. Discuss, definitely, age appropriate, of course, kung ilang taon sila. I can't really say an age, but Doc Marie might. But yeah, but discuss what they
Right.
cannot and what they cannot do and what they should avoid. I think it's
Actually,
also, di ba, Doc?
oo, nakakatakot kasi ang social media kasi dati
Mm-mm.
nafi-filter mo pa kung anong pinapanood ng mga bata. Eh
Yes.
ngayon, kahit na sabihin mong YouTube, kids pa yan. In fact, 'di ba ang Facebook supposed to be 18 and above yan. Hello,
Yes,
lahat
oo.
ng mga bata ang tatalino, no? Na they can circumvent that particular rule. All they have to do is just say the age, the date at
Age.
which they were born. Wala, it's really so the
Opo.
social media account. Alam mo ang nakakatakot diyan kasi hindi nafi-filter talaga. And
Mm-mm.
there are certain countries like Australia for one, the UK, I'm not so sure Sweden yata, no, yung more developed countries, they're starting to put rules na don't have a social media account before age 15 or 16. Can you imagine that? Bakit? Kasi hindi na nafi-filter and the problem now is that a lot of children are too smart for their own good. No? Masyado silang matalino, so they will argue themselves out.
Resourceful.
Oo, kasi resourceful sila.
Resourceful.
And then it's not appropriate for their age. 'Di ba? And yun ang nagiging problema. And so when you have your social media account, ang mga parents sabihin na, may social media account yung anak ko kasi para sa pictures. Pwede namang istoryan somewhere else, 'di ba? Bakit kailangan sa Instagram? Kasi pag nasa Instagram 'yan, one click to Instagram, their Instagram, another click to something that might have a porno site. Let's be real about it. Nakakatakot talaga. So to me kasi, unless you're sure that you can trust the child, so
Yes.
hindi wala rin ako magbibigay ng oras anong time
Oo.
You can
Yeah.
trust your child na alam mo na the child will say, this is not good for me. I will not look at this.
Yes.
Then
Thank
that's the time
you.
that you would probably want to give them a social media account. And yun na nga kahit ba ayaw mo the reality is they will put it in kasi ang galing-galing nila maglagay ng mga apps. Mas magaling pa sila sa atin. Ako I learned from my special child how to use my phone. Can you imagine that? So talagang it's really so it's really your connection with your child that will help you with that
Mm-mm.
social media. Pero yun na nga in other countries they started to really start regulating na hindi ka magkaka-social media account until your age 15 or 16, which is middle adolescence. Dapat kaya middle adolescence ang gusto nila, no?
There's
Kasi
Opo. Siguro they're starting to be concrete ay to be abstract thinkers, no? Baka gano'n, no? The maturity, the cognitive level, medyo nagsa-start na sila to think
Mm. Think for
near
themselves,
to
no?
the, yeah,
Oo.
opo,
They
picking
start
up,
thinking for
yeah.
themselves, they start filtering out
Mhm.
na yata at that age, no?
Oo,
Better, medyo marunong na sila
and the
mag-imbibe ng
abstract.
values. Tsaka yung
Yes,
values
Doc.
nila medyo formed na ng konti, no? Parang ganun.
Medyo, we hope so. Yes, Doc.
We hope so. Hindi nagre-rebelde.
Oo.
Actually, Doc, sobrang all our viewers right now have commented that this is such an informative webinar. Let me just read some of the comments from Zoom. So, Miss Mirna B said, "Thank you so much for this informative webinar. You
Thank you.
mentioned a helpful video. Are you still going to play it? Ma'am, please specify which video, but you can view naman the recorded video of this webinar on our Facebook page, no? And then there's Ma'am Joanna Periquet. Thank you for this webinar. Mukhang fix my screen time habits first pala muna. 'Di ba? Yes,
As
Mami.
adults, very good.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
And then Miss Roanne De La Cruz, thank you, doctors, for all these reminders so that we can re-strategize and re-engineer our parenting style regarding our children's mobile phone habits. Indeed, this particular concern is very challenging to us working parents. Yes, definitely.
True. Oo.
And we have a few questions on Facebook. I think we still have time for a few questions. So, what about Miss Gladys Ryerson? What about when you have children of different ages and the younger one wants to have the same screen time as the older sibling? What can we advise Mommy Gladys?
Naku, ang hirap ng tanong na yan. And that's really a
Oh.
real problem. You know what? You start, that's where you have your contract setting eh. At saka yung older children, if they can regulate, dapat di nila pakita masyado para hindi feeling unfair kasi the kids don't understand fairness eh. They don't really understand it. Kailangan talaga malaman nila na, oh, ito para sa iyo, ito para. Meron kang konting hierarchy. Hindi mo naman pinupush masyado yung hierarchy, pero merong ganong klaseng parang regulation na for each child it's the different. And then kasi imposing rules is very problematic pagka wala kang connection with the child eh. Pag hindi kayo close, pag hindi kayo and the child feels good about following, feels good about obeying the rules, mahirap magpa-obey ng rules. So ganun. Tapos yung contract setting, for young children, we usually do visual schedules, ganon, or kunyari sa calendar mo lalagay mo yung time ng dates ng mga bata. So it's really very visual for young children. For older kids, pwedeng nasa phone nila may schedule sila or else meron silang mga alarms, all of these things. So they also have to learn to model to the younger kids. Lalo na yung mga adolescent or older children, they have to model to the younger kids. And then they'll say, "Oh, this is what I do," and make them feel good about following. I think that's the important thing. Eh. They feel good about the accomplishments they have. Small accomplishments for some children, sticker charts pa nga yan, may mga ganyan stamp, 'di ba sa preschool, 'di ba ganyan? Oo.
And this one, I think, Doctor, this is a very good question. No? Either Dr. Marie or Dr. Dar can answer. From Miss Glyceria Bagasin, I wonder who this is. This is the mom. For the yayas, no, who do not have authority over the children, what tips can we give them? No? As you know,
Doctor, ikaw na
a
lang.
lot of a lot of moms, parents are working all day long, so the yayas really have our children the whole day. So what can we give them as tips, Doctora?
Ang hirap naman ng tanong na yan. Actually, sa totoo lang, mas mahirap kuminsan mag-regulate ng yaya.
Right. Kasi
Ang hirap
minsan sila din,
mag-regulate.
Doktora, di ba? Nasa TV din sila. Modeling pa din, right, Doc?
Oo. Ang question dyan is, do the yayas have downtime?
Yeah.
Kasi dapat meron din silang downtime para alam nila, ay, magtitiis ako ngayon, magre-regulate ako ngayon kasi mamaya meron naman akong time para manood ng aking mga hindi K-drama. O hindi K-drama, yung mga pang 'di ba? At saka ngayon naman you can on demand na ngayon yung mga videos na gusto mo. Kung gusto nila manood kay Tanggol, 'di ba? Mamaya na nila papanoorin 'yon si Tanggol. Mga ganyan. So it's you also give the kaya kailangan din ng downtime yung mga yayas. Tapos sila rin meron din silang rules and then they feel good about some authority. no? Meron din silang authority. Hindi yung parang ano. So you have to model also how you respect your ano, how you respect your household help. Kasi
Opo.
kung hindi sila respected, kung hindi nakikita ng bata na respeto yung mga household help, hindi nila rerespetuhin yan eh. Hindi nila susundan. 'Di ba? So it's also
Mhm.
important that you show that kind of ano. So to the yayas, kailangan din sila mag-co-regulate. Kailangan din sila ang hirap, mahirap
Tama.
talaga.
Mahirap.
Dr. Marie, I'm not letting you go yet because there's another question, no, from Miss Kathleen Recto. Hello, doctors. I'm a mommy of two of young boys under 5 years old. My eldest is now in kindergarten and struggling in Filipino. Apart from speaking at home, I struggled to find alternative avenues where he can be exposed to the language growing up. Certain shows are now my temporary solution. Do you have alternative suggestions how to introduce speaking in Filipino to kids for working parents?
Mahirap din yung question eh. Bakit pa mahihirap ang mga tanong na yan? Actually, kasi you start with, the language at home. The language at home matters, and the language that you use for activities. And, like you said, no, under 5 years old, merong mga TV shows nga, mga cartoons, mga ganyan na Tagalog. Pero dapat nag-i-interact ka with the child na ano. Kasi kung hindi ka nag-i-interact with them, then the shows will not really teach them very well. Conversations eh. You learn language from conversations. So you need to have those conversations with them. So labas kayo, tapos sabihin mo, like ako, ewan ko ha, matanda na kasi ako. Nung panahon namin, sa eskwelahan namin, sa all-girls school namin, meron kaming no English day. So talagang Tagalog, Filipino lang. Pagka nagsalita ka ng English, meron kang penalty. So you can make it a game. You can make it a
At
game.
home din, Doktora, no?
Oo,
Maybe
you can make it a game.
day,
Oo.
Filipino.
Filipino Day. Or else pwedeng ganito. Ang game ninyo, pagalingan ng vocabulary. Tapos papagalingan ng sentence. O sige nga, sabihin mo, ano yung ibig sabihin? Ano yung green sa Tagalog?
Yeah.
O ano yung pula? 'Di ba? Ganyan. So, ayan. Oh, sabihin mo nga
Pula,
yung
Tagalog na yung
the,
pula.
oo. Ay, sorry, yung red pala, sorry. Ano, how do you say the grass is growing greener?
Mm.
Oh, mga ganyan-ganyan. Basta may mga ganyan idioms. Tapos, game nyo, ganyan, points. May mga point system, may contest. Children love games. So, I would probably use games. Have it more fun. Or else, maglaro kayo ng piko ng Tagalog.
Mhm.
'Di ba? Parang gano'n.
Or
So, you do
books,
have
Or books in
books.
Filipino.
Or books in
Yes.
Filipino. There's this,
Mhm.
ano, no? There's this Adarna books, which is English at Tagalog. So,
Yes,
oo.
Doc.
So, you can use
Adarna.
that. Oo, yung mga
Mhm.
ganoon. So, yan. Pero talaga
Thank
kailangan
you.
live. Live.
Definitely. Kailangan face to face, in person, Doc Dora, no? Yeah. So I think this is all the time we have for questions. But let me just read a few more comments from Zoom from Miss Marjorie Mamalateo. Thank you very much for this webinar. Very informative. The exposure to digital world is a big challenge for us parents. Hopefully there will be a webinar for teens naman to make them aware also. A note, Doc Dar, ha, next
Yeah.
web. Oftentimes, source of conflict kasi namin. Hehe. And then from Miss Marie Manalo on Facebook, thank you for sharing your knowledge on managing kids' use of gadgets. I found it very helpful. Thank you also, Miss Marie Manalo. And from another one also from Zoom, doctors. One last question, ako may humabol. Is it okay to watch Filipino tagged famous cartoons like SpongeBob? No.
Ah, is it
Hirap lang
okay?
ako.
Is it okay in the first place, is it okay to watch SpongeBob?
Yeah.
The context, Doc, no?
Oo, kasi alam mo, ang problema ko with SpongeBob, medyo adult humor. It's funny for
It's
adults,
for
but
adults.
pero medyo for children, medyo wise Aleki ang dating. Okay, that's the one thing. And then it emphasizes parang may konting shaming nangyayari if I remember no from SpongeBob. So baka ibang Tagalog ano, baka si Dora pa or else hindi ko alam kung merong mga yung yung the magic book ba yan, yung Bible stories na may Tagalog version, or hindi ko alam if Batibot is still around.
No, na
Superbook.
po.
Wala
Naalala
na,
ko yung
no?
Superbook.
Superbook.
Superbook, yun, Superbook. Oo, they had it in Tagalog. They have Dora in Tagalog.
Mm.
Batibot, yun nga sayang, no? Wala nang. Sesame Street, I think meron din. I don't know if it's dubbed in Tagalog also. So I think maybe we can ask people in media to start looking at those things and dub it in Tagalog para yung mga ganyan. Or Voltes 5 yata may Tagalog version yan eh. Although I think that's probably, it's not the animation, it's the movie eh. Mga ganyan na Tagalog. So I would probably think of those things. Pero yan, oo. Kaya lang alam mo, media na naman yan, di ba? Kaya ang
Right.
kailangan is conversations. So, mahirap. It's not easy. I'm not preaching to say na you have to do all of this. It's really a real challenge as a parent.
And there's just one pahabol from Facebook, Doc. So from Miss Kate Aniceto Dizon. Hi, Doc. Doc, what do you say to your child when you're being compared to other parents who don't restrict their child with their gadget use? That's so common. Yes.
Ikaw, Dar, anong
Oh,
sabihin mo?
well, most of my patients meron. But I think we can explain the way that our values are in the family. Maybe we can start with that. No, that this is our belief. All families are different. All families have different beliefs in raising you, and just stress that the reason why we don't probably give it a cell phone is that we want to make sure you're responsible na, and time will come naman when we see that you will be given your cell phone. It's a privilege. Yung ganun, Doc. Explain. Each family is different. Each parenting type is different as well. Di ba, Doc?
Yes.
Oo, talaga. Actually, kasi they start comparing. Kaya hindi mo pwedeng absolute wala eh. Hindi pwedeng absolutely wala. Kailangan meron sila. Kasi pag sobrang deprived yung bata, babawi naman yan. Hindi rin tama yon. So kailangan hindi naman sila sobrang inosente na FOMO na sila sa school. Ba? Hindi pwedeng ganun. Kailangan may konti silang exposure. Pero ang ano dyan, ang dictum dyan is regulated. You can control. Hindi yung bawal na absolute bawal. Although for 2-year-olds, yun na nga yung sabi lang bawal. The only time that it's an exception is pag kunyari nakikipag-usap sa OFW parent, yan. Or sa mga grandparents na malayo ang bahay, yan. Yan lang. Pero it's interactive. You see, it's still very interactive. Pero other than that, yung screen time na very passive, it's not really good for those childs. No? So meron na comment daw dito, sana makabalik po yung Hiraya, Manawari, Pahina, Bayani. Nako, siniskwela. Nasa CD na lang po sila, hindi na wala ng sa YouTube. Naku, hahanapin ko yan. Hahanapin ko
Doc,
talaga
CD!
yan. Oo, naka-CD siya.
I will screenshot this kasi hahanapin ko din siya
Oo,
for
hanapin ko yan talaga, honestly. I'm going to recommend that to parents. Thank you for that, Miss Cecil.
Thank you, Miss Cecil Perez Nadal. So I think that is all the time we have for our questions. Yung may pahabol pang questions on Facebook, please just type your questions and our experts will just reply on our Facebook page. No? Dr. Marie and Dr. Darlene, may I please ask you for some parting words for our audience this morning?
Doc, ikaw na po.
Okay, sige, parting words. I gleaned this partly from the Bible. Children are a gift from the Lord. And we don't want to lose them to technology. Technology, gadgets, and screen time should not be used to connect or to disconnect, no? Nagdi-disconnect sila eh. So we need to use this to connect more than to disconnect.
Mhm.
Ganda, sabi ko nga, ang ganda what Dr. Marie said. For me, I'm for parents of adolescents, it's important, like our title says, it's important to really strike a balance in approaching our teens, providing them guidance while letting them, while respecting their growing need for autonomy and independence. So we want to as they grow, as they become adults, we want to foster a safe parang environment for them, have an open dialogue, and empower them to use technology in positive ways. That's it po for me.
Thank you, doctors, Dr. Marie and Dr. Dar. Truly, this discussion has been a great start to our morning. So, to all of you watching this morning, and to Dr. Marie and Dr. Darlene, until our next
Coffee
Coffee
and
and
conversation.
conversations. Dapat malapit sa akin. Thank you,
Okay, bye-bye.
everybody. Bye.
Thank you again to our resource speakers. I enjoyed our coffee and conversation this morning. For all our participants, thank you for joining us. For your certificate, you may scan the QR code or click the link on the chat box. I will return to this slide in a while. For inquiries about us and other pediatricians and specialists at the Medical City, please contact the Institute of Pediatrics with this number. I would like to invite you to our upcoming webinar. On September 20, 2025, the Feeding Clinic is offering their webinar entitled Feeding Them Right, Feeding Guide in Feeding Your Kids with Pediatric Gastroenterologist Dr. Almida Riodica. Learn from our experts to help you with feeding your infants and children. This webinar is ideal to those about to introduce semi-solid to your infants or for those with children who are picky with food. To register, you may scan the QR code or go to the link on your screen. Again, thank you for spending your morning with us today for the Institute of Pediatrics Learning Academy's Coffee and Conversations. I leave you with the link to the certificate. The link will be open only until 5 p.m. today. See you in our next webinar. I am Dr. Glenda Rachel Bagasin for Coffee and Conversations of the Medical City Institute of Pediatrics, your partner in pediatric healthcare. Good morning and thank you.